Hello friends, hope you are all doing well. As usual, I am back and I would like to tell you about one of my favorite authors in today's program. Guess who? Nobody? Okay, I will tell you. It is the American author this time. Her name is Harper Lee, although she is known as Harper Lee only, and it is her book To Kill a Mockingbird that I am going to speak to you all today. You know what has happened? In her entire life, she has only published 2 books, and the gap between the first, which is To Kill a Mockingbird, and the second one is 55 years. The first one was published in 1960 and the second one was published in 2015, and that too the second book is what? It is the first draft of Mockingbird. So effectively she has published 1 book in her entire career. Yet this book, published in 1960, was awarded the Pulitzer Award in 1961. And as you all know, Pulitzer Award is the what? It is the highest award of literature in America, and from the book, a successful Hollywood classic was made in 1962, which won 3 Oscars. So, and this book has brought in multiple awards to Harper Lee. So this must be really some great book. So let us see what it is. Before we go in more details in the book, I would like to tell you a little bit about Harper Lee's background. This will help you to understand her book better, in a better light. Okay, it is here we have Harper Lee. She was born in 1926 in Alabama, which is a southern state in USA. As you would be knowing, Alabama is one of the rural states and it is a pretty conservative state. She is the youngest of 4 siblings, but only her brother was nearer in age to her. The other 2 sisters were much older. Her father was a lifelong liberal, an ex-newspaperman and lawyer, and he has served for a long time in the Alabama state legislature. After completing college, Harper Lee moved to New York and took up a job, and in her spare time she wrote. She had wonderful friends, and what they had gifted her was 1 year's wages, and this was given as a Christmas gift, and she was told that you have at least a year to only concentrate on your writing. With the help of her friends and well-wishers, she was able to write To Kill a Mockingbird and was able to publish the book in 1960. Let us now see what she has got to say about this, and this is the book that I am talking about, To Kill a Mockingbird. And let us read what is her idea of the book. I am quoting from her. I never expected any sort of success with the Mockingbird. I was hoping for a quick and merciful death at the hands of the reviewers, but at the same time, I sort of hoped someone would like it enough to give me encouragement. Public encouragement I hoped for a little, but I got rather a whole lot. That is what she has said about the book. That means her expectation on her writing was also not much. Once the book became successful, I feel she was satisfied, and although she had celebrity status, she did not publish any more books and was also not attending too many public functions. Harper Lee died in 2016 at the ripe old age of 89, and she has lived her life in full. Now let us come to the story of To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird is set in an old town, which is a small town in rural Alabama, and the period of the story is 1935-36. This is just after the Great Depression, and the narrator is a 9-year-old Jean Louise Finch, better known as Scout. She lives in this small town where everybody knows everybody and nothing much happens, along with her brother Jem and father Atticus Finch. Atticus Finch is a liberal. By profession he is a lawyer, and he is the model of integrity in the town. He is a widower and is bringing up the 2 children with the help of the black housekeeper Calpurnia. There is another boy called Dill, who is a regular visitor, summertime visitor in the town, and is the neighbor of Jem and Scout, and they are very friendly. The 3 of them are inseparable. The book comprises mainly of 2 parts. The first part is the growing up of the children and their innocent curiosity, innocent lives, while the second part is dealing with a very serious issue of rape and racial discrimination. Harper Lee is able to mix the 2 together, and as the story unfolds, we find that her writing is full of humor and compassion. In the first part, the children are actually very much obsessed with their reclusive neighbor Arthur Boo Radley, who they are very curious to meet. Radley, being a recluse, is not seen out of his house for a long period. As the children provoke him, he shows favor towards them by leaving them some gifts, but somehow the children are not able to meet Arthur. In the midst of all this excitement, the local judge, Mr. Taylor, has got a case where a young white woman has accused Tom Robinson, a black man, and then the accusation is for rape and physical assault. Judge Taylor is also a silent liberal, and he appoints Atticus Finch to defend Tom. This he does by breaking the tradition of the junior most lawyer being appointed by the court. And by appointment of Atticus, Judge Taylor makes a silent statement. Atticus agrees to defend Tom Robinson to the best of his abilities, but many of the townspeople are very dissatisfied with Atticus for defending a black man. 1930s, the racial discrimination in US, particularly the southern states, were at its peak, and at that point of time a white lawyer, a senior white lawyer defending a black man is something which the others did not look at very favorably. Jem and Scout, they have to face lot of taunts like nigger lover addressed at Atticus, but somehow their father told them, please do not react. There is also a situation when Atticus faces a group of white men who want to lynch Tom, but somehow the situation is averted. In a full court, in front of all the townsmen and the children, Atticus defends Tom Robinson against the accused young woman and her father. Myla Ewell, the young woman, has actually been bringing the charge, but Atticus proves that both Myla and her father Bob Ewell are telling lies. In fact, what has happened, Atticus proves, is that Myla has made some sexual advances towards Tom and was beaten up brutally by her father. In spite of proving this in court, the jurymen convict Tom Robinson as guilty. This actually shakes up Scout's brother gravely, but Atticus was actually mentally prepared that this is going to be the verdict, and he was very confident that in the appeal the judgment given by the jury could be reversed. But as events unfold, what happens? There is no need for going on appeal because Tom Robinson is shot dead while trying to escape from prison. Now the things really take a turn for the worse because Bob Ewell confronts Atticus and spits on his face, telling that he is going to get even with him for defending a black man against him and his daughter. What Bob does is, in order to take revenge against Atticus, stalks Scout and Jem one dark night in fact, when they are coming back from school after a school function, and in the ensuing scuffle, Jem gets hurt and his arm is broken. When Scout is almost overpowered by Bob, she realizes that some stranger has come in there, the children's aid, and finally overpowers Bob Ewell. And that particular stranger carries Jem to their house. While on the way, Scout realizes that the stranger is none other than Arthur Bo Radley. I am definitely not going to end the story, and because I want you all to read it and find out how the story ends. So before I make my conclusion, I would like to have two more points. The first is the name To Kill a Mockingbird. Why the name To Kill a Mockingbird was given to this piece of work. As one of the characters, Miss Maud, says in the book, that it is a sin to kill a mockingbird because the mockingbird only sings and gives us pleasure. In my view, Harper Lee had 2 points in her mind. One is the killing of Tom Robinson, the innocent black man who was never guilty of any charges, and the second point is the killing of innocence of the children as they grow up in the small town. These, I believe, would have prompted Harper Lee to name the book To Kill a Mockingbird. The other point which I want to make is, in spite of what Harper Lee says about her book, that it will not meet with great success, the fact that the book has become one of the American classics and has been circulated in other countries and translated in several languages show us that there are liberals all over the world, but it sometimes needs a catalyst to awaken their feelings and they quickly rally to it. I think this point is very valid in the context of the current situation in the United States today. I would say that like previous episodes, I would say that before concluding, please read this book, and you will get an insight into a different era in USA. And also, if possible, do watch the film To Kill a Mockingbird. And if you want, I have a copy of the film with me. I would be happy to share the same with you. I think I will not keep you people anymore, and thank you and see you soon.